Hi, it's me, Ellie here again. It's nice to see you all. I thought I'd read a little bit from my book, Nubian Minds, and there's a section on here called The Effects of Sickle Cell on Family Life. And what I do is I interview 3 families, and then 6 years later I go back and re-interview them, see how their lives are panning out or turning out. And also, having sickle cell myself, SS, I know how difficult it is to live with this disorder and the pain that we go through, even though most of us will usually keep a smile on our face and keep our spirits as chirpy as we can. On interviewing the people with my sickle cell essay, I could just see that there was not a lot of support in social ways. Like the work situation doesn't support you, they don't really know too much about sickle cell. What is this thing? How can you be off and for so long and then look so well like 3 weeks later? Like, what's going on? So obviously more awareness needs to happen. There is now an NHS program that's been running for a number of years on sickle cell screening, in which I'm proud to have had a few years hand in that. That was a great experience, bringing awareness to sickle cell and going within the community, doing some outreach work for that, which was amazing. I was more thinking on the subject that not a lot of people have emotional support when it comes to sickle cell. There's very few counsellors, and also I find that there aren't any counsellors with sickle cell, maybe 1 or 2 somewhere on the planet, but it would be great to have counsellors who actually have sickle cell, or to employ counsellors maybe in this way, and I'd be very glad to help out in such an area. So I was talking about the spiritual or the upliftment side of when you're living with a long-term disorder, and how sometimes you can get really down and depressed simply because your body's not working that well today, it's not doing that great. So I just thought I'd share a little passage. So this was from an interview that I did with a person, and I'd found that she'd spent a lot of her time in hospital even though she'd had 2 children, and I think the failed relationships that were being mentioned while we were talking about her story, the family member that was sharing with me was saying these kind of incidents obviously affect our health, our well-being, and such matters. I just wanted to read this part. And the lady's name is Janet, who I'm giving honour to. Much of Janet's life had been revolved around the hospital. Pardon me. Her sickling had become her life, instead of only a part of it. After speaking with the family, they gave permission, and felt that I had viewed and portrayed Janet's life experience well. Sickle cell disease had infested her body, which had become so weak with the regular use of new drugs, many needles, endless transfusions, yet no soul food. No one to say, "Come on, you can do this. Come on, there's lots you can do with your life. Let me show you the way." She had lost hope of anything productive or good coming out of her situation, although she loved her family. So people have lots to deal with when we're dealing with a long-term disorder. We look fine and well on the outside, but if your social structures are not uplifting you, or not keeping you well, or not supporting the facts that you're living on half the oxygen of most people on the planet, hello, I think we're trying. There needs to be some laws integrated with that, probably somewhere in the disability laws, and that would just help out so much. That would just change so many people's lives. There's approximately 16,000 people in England with sickle cell, and I think we can do much better than we're doing now. We're trying, we're doing a great job. I'm sure more remedies, ways forward, etc. will definitely be on its way pretty soon. And I thank you very much for watching me, and I hope you will purchase my book, Nubian Minds. Thank you very much.